Hello, everyone. I hope that you're all doing really well. I've just realised that my glass of water is in the frame here, but I'm just gonna put it there. Do you know I'm trying to balance this on this thing? You should see what is going on behind the scenes because I'm trying to balance everything. So just ignore that glass. How is everybody doing on this Tuesday? It's so lovely to see you all. Look, I've just been literally reading the comments, and yes, thank you. Yes, my hearts for the eve of Valentine's Day. So yes, I can see. Hello, Yang. We've got Sing. Hello, M. We've got M. Sing. Sing has wings. We've got Sweepstakes. We've got Eric. We've got Kid Ross. Where are you guys from? I know Peter, you're from snowy upstate New York. Goodness, you guys have got snow. We don't have any of that, but I'm actually really happy about that. I'm actually really, really happy that in the UK, it has been all right. Eleni, hello, my dear. Hello, how are you? It was really nice to meet you on Saturday. We got Katie, Kent. We have Leon, Eric. Where are you guys from? I'm in the UK. We got Kid Ross in Tampa, Sing in Hertford. Yeah, all the UK massive, in the house. Hoodie? No, I don't have the hoodie. Did you send one? Yang, I've literally got this. This was gifted to me from my friend Maria. Maria, if you're watching, say hi in the chat because I don't know if you are. We got beautiful strands, Detroit. We got Dal in Ukraine. Oh my God, Dal, hello. So lovely that you are here. We got Urfan also in the UK. We got Yang in Greece. Whoop, whoop, all the Greece massive. New Zealand, Walter, PPK7. Patricia in Virginia. We've got Vancouver, San Diego. Oh my God, I haven't been to San Diego for so long. It's so beautiful there. Absolutely loved it. And we got Jennifer from Park City, Utah. We got Devon. We got David in Devon. I love that. Oh, and Marni. Oh, bless you. Thank you so much for being here from the Caribbean. Marni, I got your email from the other. I think I say this all the time. I'm literally in the middle of writing it. I promise. Oh, no. I will reply. Oh, it's just been, it's been mentally crazy, but I've explained that in the email. But thank you so much for joining. Marni has amazing books. Please do check the links in the description box because she is absolutely amazing. She is a doctor of psychology and she has written amazing books about exactly this. You know, exactly what you guys are going through. This would help, like, if any of you are struggling to find words to understand this particular, like, you know what, like if some of you might be going through, I don't know, divorce and has to kind of like, you know, explain it. But yeah, check out Marni's books. We've got Larry in California. We got Maria from Australia. Hello, Kitty. Happy day, Australia. We got Ohio, Melissa in Ohio. We got Gary in New York. Colin in Australia. Guys, we got a few of you from Australia. Like, what time is it? You know, because here it's like literally 9:10. We got Vasiliki. Hello, my dear. Thank you. From Greece, we've got Divine One. Thank you so much. Yes, this was gifted to me by my friend. Do you know what happened? Actually, she did this huge order. I'll tell you what happened. And she's probably watching. It's my friend. And she ordered all of these clothes to my house. This massive package came. Anyway, she ordered 2 by accident. And me and her have got the same top. So she gifted me this one. And I thought, great, I'm going to wear this for the live on Tuesday. Yes. So, yeah. Jessica, hello. Oh, Jessica, I will be answering your question, how to handle human resources. Will you be able to, in about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, repost that? Because yes, absolutely. Today, what we're doing is we are answering your questions. That's what I'm doing today. I am answering your questions. If there's something on your mind or there's something that you want support with, I would say, like, put it on the chat because I will be answering your questions. So today, you know, like at least once a month we have these. Yes, please do get your questions in. And also, for those of you that are watching and maybe haven't, pressed the like button, please do this, because this would really help to get the algorithm to get all this out there, because you know what, like there's so many people that this could actually help. Yes, happy Valentine's Day to all of you, those of you, right? I will say this, and I know I'm not trying to kill the vibe, I really am not, but guys, it's just another day, all right? For those of you that are like, oh my God, I'm going to be single, I haven't got anybody. It's just another day. Do you know what? You can show yourself that love instead. It doesn't have to always be about another person. It can be about yourselves, do you know? Like, show yourself some love, all right? So yes, we got South Africa as well. Goodness, it's already, so you're 2 hours ahead, like in Greece. Hey, Steen, hello. Nice to have you here. Thank you, Sing. Yeah, please do smash the like button. That would be amazing, guys. Honestly. My hair is already frizzing. Oh, my goodness. You know what? It gets hot in here because of like the lights and everything. And I do have the window, so I'm really hoping that the dogs next door don't have a barking fest. Thank you. Oh dear. So guys, how has your week been? What have you guys been up to this week? Did any of you do any of the exercises that I kind of suggested last week? Because we were talking about cognitive empathy and how someone pretends to feel. That's literally what it's about. It's like how somebody is pretending to feel. Like, we got Makeda Records, 1:11 p.m. Oh, so it's 1 p.m. Yes. Oh, Divine One, I've got my 2 children, stuffed animals and chocolate. Yeah, that is the best. That sounds amazing. We're coming over to yours, Divine One. Brett, hello. Okay, so we're going to go to the questions. Okay, we're going to go to the questions, guys. Okay, so Irfan, I've been destroyed by 3 family members' death. My disabled sister, they played games, sold house with my belongings, teamwork, the evil devils. Oh, I'm so sorry. That sounds awful. Family members, I mean, it's so sad when this happens, like in family dynamics. There is, I did a post about this actually on Instagram, and it was all about generational trauma. And I feel like this is fitting exactly, for this. It's generational trauma. And these people have obviously learnt to behave in this way, or to be like this, to interact with others. And I feel like because, Irfan, you're the one that kind of like sees it for what it is. You're the circuit breaker. And there's always that one person within a family dynamic that is like this, that is the circuit breaker. And many of you probably do relate to this, or, this resonates with some of you as well, because I think, trauma does run in families, and because it is very much a behavioral thing, it's patterned behavior. And what happens is we learn from our parents. And so, for example, it's not necessarily that our parents are narcissistic or they are toxic. It's just this is how they have learnt how to be. And we take on those behaviors because at the time when we are children, we don't know whether it's right or wrong. So we just copy those behaviors. And that's, I feel like in this scenario for you, Irfan, like it's so bad what has happened. I really hope that you get the support that you need. If you wanted to, we've also got the Discord server as well. So if you wanted to join that, this is a community of like-minded individuals. It's kind of like this. But if you wanted to obviously speak to a professional, make sure that you speak to someone who understands trauma, to heal from this. And none of this is your fault, or you didn't, bring this on. It's just their way of being and their way of existing in this world. People who do things like that are also quite traumatized themselves, because hurt people do hurt people. I know that's a saying. I didn't make that up. It's really challenging. So Irfan, my heart goes out to you. It's going to be okay. Like you see it for what it is. So yeah, they are. Jessica says, all right, Jessica, I'm going to answer your question. How to handle a human resources professional trying to destroy my career by saying terrible things about me to everyone in my industry. Well, first of all, Jessica, first of all, my dear, do you know the truth. You know that you are none of those things that that person is saying. And it's kind of like you have kind of got to override. You got to think, why is this person saying this to you? Like, seriously, why would somebody do this? There's a reason why. And it's usually because you have something that that person doesn't. And if they are toxic, remember, it's all about hierarchy. It's all about competition. Okay, so basically they are going to want to destroy you because you have something that they don't. I'm sure, like, if you like really think about it, like, you'll realize that there's something that you have. This is about qualities of your work, your skills, things like that. So they're trying to destroy that. The thing is, if somebody is aware, they're going to see the true nature of you, the way that you work, the way that you are. And if this person is saying all these things, doing all these things, they're going to see, if someone wants to see the truth, they will see that that isn't the case. So, you know, what I'm going to ask you to do, okay, is rise above this. All right. And know that you are none of those things that that person is saying about you. It's more about that you've got to stand in your power and show it. Okay. You have nothing to prove to anybody. Okay. You are good enough. You are perfect as you are right now. All right. So you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. You just be you. And so you've got to understand that this person is trying to put you down because you have something that they don't. So they're trying to destroy you, to discredit you. It could be that they are trying to mirror you and take your skills, do what you do. And so if they trip you up, or if you do something wrong, they will use that as if like, oh yeah, see, this person isn't that great. But you've got to do you. So what you have to remember is that this person wants something from you. You have just got to carry on doing what you're doing, okay? Do your work. Remember, it's all about, you're there to work. You're not there to make friends. And I know that's really bad how it is nowadays, but it's just about you, okay, showing who you are, your skills, like how you can do this role, all right? Don't let this get to you. And I know this is really difficult, but rise above it. Remember, you've got to be strong here and here, okay? In your heart, all right? Know that what this person is saying is not true. They're trying to destroy you for a reason, okay? Because you are amazing. You are better than them. Okay, not that it's a competition, but just you got to kind of like think of it like that why would someone want to do that? You know? Think about it, right? Also, like when you have trolls, you know, sometimes, you know, like I would have trolls on this channel. Why are they trying to do that? Think about it. They're trying to discredit me, trying to say that I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, like it's the same kind of thing. It's bullying. Actually, that's what it is. It's bullying. So rise above this. Know your worth. All right. Know your worth. You are good enough for this job. That's why you got chosen. All right. I hope that helps, Jessica. Lagmari Badir, hello. Hello, Anushka. Should I react if my ex uses her kid, which I love, to get back to me? I don't want her back, but I do love the kid. 5 years. I am the father figure. Oh, bless you. It's really hard always when there's like children involved and they're used, you know, they're used as pawns against you or trying to prove a point. Do you know what I mean? Should I react if my ex uses her kid, which I love, to get back to me? Do you know what? You have a relationship with that child. So it's ultimately about your relationship with that child, not her. So I would ask you to kind of, what does your heart say to do? I would say that you probably do want to have contact with the child. So yeah, you probably are going to have to kind of go through her to be able to see the child, isn't it? It's kind of one of those scenarios. You want to see the kid. Yeah, you're going to have to put boundaries in place. And remember, it's about your relationship with that child, okay? Not with her. It's about boundaries. And remember, the child will pick up on that energy. So you just be you. Ultimately, like, I'm seeing a trend in all of this that I'm kind of talking about, but it's about you being you, all right? You have these gifts, you have these qualities, okay, that these people obviously want, all right, or they want from you. So what I'm trying to say is be you. Be that person that that child knows you to be. All right. And ultimately, it's about your relationship. Okay. And eventually, you know, this child will grow up and will maybe want to see you and carry on this relationship. So I hope that helps. But just honestly, like, listen to your heart. What does your heart say? Because ultimately, it's about you and the child. Okay. Not you and her. Yes, David James, I do agree with that. Yes, I do agree that they are all kind of like there's something a bit tapped about them. Yes, Yang, trolls get banned. We got Yang on the case to ban the trolls. Oh gosh, nearly kicked the mic then. Oh, Jessica says, unfortunately, she filmed me saying a bad word and she framed it in a way that looks like I was the one cursing at her. However, it wasn't directed at her. Do you know what? You can, you know, in that case, okay, don't just use this one example. Write your story, like write your part of it. And also, obviously, like, you know, if you've got a HR department, like a human resources department at your work, I would say if this is an ongoing clash or something that's going on, I would make them aware of it. But you see, she is, or she or he, so I don't know why I said she is obviously trying to get back at you, do so, like, yeah, just write a log or an account of everything that happens. Okay, I hope that helps. Singh, thank you so much. Thank you. 25 months of no contact. Whoop, whoop, check you out. This is amazing. I would never go back to him, but I'm so cautious to date now. Is it normal to feel anxious this way? I don't want to be hurt again. Yes. Do you know, oh, bless you guys. Yes, it is. You do. It's almost as though once you've had your fingers burnt, you are always going to be a little bit more cautious. But remember, not everybody is narcissistic. Not everybody is out there to hurt you. You have to use your discernment, use your intuition, use your gut feeling, okay? You will get a sense of what people are like, okay? And so, do you know, of course, it is normal. You know what I mean by normal, inverted commas, okay, to feel anxious, to feel as though, you know, like this person is going to hurt you. And I know it's hard to kind of open up your heart again to somebody else, but I promise you, not everyone is narcissistic and not everyone is going to hurt each and every one of us. But it is a process and it is something that we need to go through. And I would say, don't rush this, okay, but know that you will be able to figure out if this person is right for you or not, or whether you want to continue being friends with this person or whether you want to get into something more romantic. Always follow your heart. Honestly, our heart space, okay, guys, our heart space, love is the most truest form. Okay, we should, like, it should be that we should kind of have love for everybody, but first of all, ourselves. All right, when we trust, when we are connected to ourselves, all right, we then learn and begin to trust our thoughts, you know, our emotions, knowing that we are going to respond to a situation, not react. So opening our hearts for others, it isn't a bad thing. It's actually a very beautiful thing, because love is the highest vibration. To feel love for yourself, love for others is the highest vibration. But it's a process to get back to that. But if you trust yourself, you do the work on you, then, you know, you're never going to doubt yourself. And I know that particularly within trauma, what happens when we have been so traumatized, we do disconnect from who we are. We do separate, because it's a response. It's a trauma response, okay? It's something that, you know, our body does to us, our mind does to us to protect us. But I'm kind of saying, okay, this is the process to get you to do the opposite, if that makes sense. Okay, so start to do the opposite and open your heart out to you. Being vulnerable, okay, isn't a weakness. Our empathy is not a weakness, okay? This is our strength. But ultimately, if you trust yourself, you're going to be able to put boundaries in place. And if someone is not okay, if somebody isn't treating you right, then you will have, you know, the confidence to be able to say, no, that doesn't that doesn't work for me. Do you know what I mean? Because then you know that this person isn't treating you right, or isn't treating you in a way that is kind to you. Do you know what I mean? And that's about the trust, but it is work. Okay. When we have been traumatized, it is going to feel like we can't trust anybody else, but that's because we're not trusting ourselves. But it is a process, and we will get this. Okay. So don't rush it. Don't rush it. And please know that none of you are going to be single forever, because it doesn't work like that. Okay. You will find that person, because there is that person for all of us. However, the work that we do, okay, remember, this isn't just kind of like a little relationship, that we've had. This is a traumatic experience that we have gone through. But remember, it doesn't define us. What we do is we connect back to ourselves and we learn about us. Okay. So that was a long-winded answer. So I really hope that helps, but I'm kind of trying to expand it for you guys to kind of understand that actually don't shut yourselves in, because that's the worst, because that abuse is still carrying on. If we shut ourselves off and we become, like we disconnect from everybody else because we think, we think that this person or people, it's not like our environment is not safe. It is safe. Living our lives rather than surviving them. Okay. It is safe. It is nice. Like, it is okay. It is a beautiful thing, but we have to connect to ourselves first. And this is literally what I kind of talk about in the book that I'm writing, but not writing right now. I don't know. Every time I bring up this, the conversation about the subject about the book, I'm like, I really haven't finished it yet. Still a bit more, but this is kind of like what I talk about, like in the book. So yes. Pano77. Hello, Anushka, and thank you for changing my life. Oh, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased that has happened. Like, wow. Is there a case of a narcissist admitting their flaws as some kind of self-awareness, and will go to change, or is it more like playing victim and seeking confirmation? I would say it's the latter. It's more about playing the victim and seeking confirmation. So I would say that they're probably telling you what you want to hear. You've got to understand that narcissism, the premise of this is a disconnection from themselves, because due to the trauma, that they have suffered. Okay, so they disconnect from who they actually are in a bid to be able to protect themselves. So what they do is I'm going to go into the psychology of this, all right, just really quickly. What they have is an external locus of control. So what that means in psychology is that they don't introspect. Like, for example, we will introspect. It's because of the lack of empathy, or they have very little empathy. So for example, we would be like, oh my God, have I hurt this person? Like, oh, I need to do something, I need to change, or I need to change it up. Do you know what I mean? Like, we would be like, oh my God, have we really done this to this person? So we would seek then to be able to change our behavior, because what we're doing is introspecting. But in a way, that's also wrong, because we are then taking on the blame, and we're taking on the responsibility for change, which is why narcissists and us empaths, like that, obviously it's a match made in hell, but it kind of works like that, because they externalize this, we internalize this. So for a narcissist to actually have awareness into their own behavior and what they're doing is either slim to or none. Okay, they can't do that. It's the way that they have been conditioned, programmed, the way that they have learned to survive in the world. It's always blamed on you. It's always you taking the responsibility to change. It's always that you've got to do something to make this interaction better. So, them admitting, it's more about either victimhood or trying to get, or telling you what you want to hear so that they can get something from you. It's really hard for us to understand, because like, we would never do that. Like, I even sometimes think, how can, how do people do this? But they do. So it's more about when you don't feel, when you're disconnected from you don't understand how someone else is feeling, or how your actions is going to make someone else feel. Does that make sense? So that's why I always say it's more about getting something from you. It's more about validation from them. I hope that makes sense, guys. I hope that makes sense. What are we up on to the likes? Oh, 50 likes, 94 watching. Oh no, guys, come on. If you're watching, please, please, please do press the like button. I would be really grateful if you did. And don't have to be on the chat. Don't have to be on the chat. Just if you press the like button, I would be really, really grateful. Thank you so much. Yes, Ian, they don't care who they hurt along the way because it's about them, isn't it? It's about them. The chat's going up. Oh, goodness. Okay, Matt. Hi, Anushka. My ex-girlfriend always hoovered and ignored me. I asked her one question for 100 times if she wants to be with somebody else. She never answered to my question, why? Yang, you're unplugging my computer? Oh my God. No, we're on the live. Yang, can't be doing this. Okay, so Matt, sorry. Matt, okay. Okay. So she wouldn't answer your question because yeah, she wants to be with you and other people, but how can she say that to you? How can she say to you, yeah, I want to be with you and other people? It's a deal breaker, isn't it? And the fact that she doesn't answer your question, I mean, says it all, doesn't it? What is your gut feeling? Like you'd probably be able to kind of understand it or feel it. Do you know what I mean? Like what the feeling on this is. But I feel like, yeah, they're probably maybe there were others or something like that. That's what I'm kind of thinking, that maybe there were others involved in all of this. She wouldn't answer you because she couldn't give you a straight answer. If she did, but you got to think of it this way: if she didn't want to be with anybody else, number one, you would never have asked this question because you would have been like, okay, she's with me and we're a couple, we're together, because that's the healthy way. Like there doesn't need to be extra people in your relationship. But the fact that she didn't answer it and you had to ask her like literally 100 times says a lot. Do you know what I mean? Like it says a lot. You know, so it would probably indicate to me that, yes, that's probably what was going on. Normand, hello, and happy Valentine's Day to you too. Thank you. Yes, join for data gathering. Oh, okay. Hello for you, Chester. Thank you so much. Jessica says the HR professional goes to networking events, has gone out of her way to talk bad about me with others, even across industries. Oh, Jessica, bless you. Just keep doing. I would say to you, it just seems to me like there seems to be like a very toxic dynamic in your work, and a lot of people are involved in this. This probably is really stressing you. Bless you, Jessica. I would. This is challenging. I would say like this probably makes it really hard for you to be at work as well. You might have to think about maybe getting something else, like another job elsewhere, or maybe switching departments or something like that, or maybe just get someone independent within your industry. If there's like a union or someone that you can speak to independently about this, because this is not fair on you and you shouldn't have to be feeling so stressed and anxious, you know, about going to work even. Because every day you're at work and you spend like obviously like we all spend most of our time at work, but this is about you getting some independent advice into this situation. But I honestly don't feed into the bullying. That's what I would say to you. Divine One, how do you know if you're dealing with someone who has a lot of narcissistic traits, who's not got NPD versus someone who definitely has narcissistic personality disorder? How do you draw the line? That's a really good question, Divine One. Thank you. All right. So when you are dealing with someone who has a lot of narcissistic traits, all right, this person would come across as very toxic. Someone who has narcissistic personality disorder. Guy next door, thank you so much. I'm going to answer your question in just a moment. Just a moment. Okay, someone who, sorry, I just had to to scroll down a bit. Someone who has narcissistic personality disorder. What happens is that we're talking about the pathological side here. So we're talking about someone who has a personality disorder. All right, so things will be taken to extremes. The lying, cheating, the gaslighting, all of this would be taken to another level where you would be highly traumatized. You will feel like there is something that isn't right. All right. So with someone who has narcissistic traits, okay, it's kind of more low level. With someone who has pathological traits, all right, this, you would be able to see this within the family line as well. So it wouldn't just be that person. It probably was like siblings or parents or caregivers. There would have been also some sort of abuse, emotional abuse, possibly even sexual abuse. This is what predetermines the personality disorder. It might be that they have a different type of personality disorder, like emotionally unstable or borderline, because I know that borderline also shares quite a lot of traits with narcissism, but it doesn't always get diagnosed. And that is the thing, because you know what? This is just my opinion, guys. This is just my opinion. I don't feel like there is robust enough measures or ways of testing if somebody has NPD. All right. I know we talk about the DSM here, but you know, I was listening to a podcast, I think it was yesterday in the evening, and it was talking actually about the DSM and the Diagnostic Statistics Manual. And what that is it's literally a dictionary or the Bible that every like psychiatrist and psychologists use, or mental health professional uses. Like, we had to study, like when I was learning this at uni, we had to study this. I was like, there's so much in it. It's like this thick book that has all the diagnosis, all the classifications, all the diagnosis of people, of mental health. And, but you've got to understand, this book was written by 10 clinicians, 10 psychiatrists, and it's very dated, guys. It's very dated. And so, I don't know, does it really help us to determine whether somebody has this? You know, ultimately, I don't feel that it does, and it needs revision. And I feel like because this is a personality disorder, there needs to be more stringent kind of measures. So someone who has a personality disorder doesn't always get picked up. Usually the diagnosis happen kind of like it's early onset within their early 20s or late teens. So anywhere between 18 to 25, that if it gets caught, that's when they're diagnosed with a personality disorder. But with something like narcissism, sociopathy, and psychopathy, you know, these people are really manipulative, and they will tell you what you want to hear. All right. So it doesn't always get caught. So someone who has NPD, their behaviors would be very pathological on the extreme. So, for example, let's take lying. So if you have a narcissist who literally has a personality disorder, they are going to lie to you. But the lies that they tell you are going to have an impact on you. They are going to change your life in some way. Someone who has perhaps maybe narcissistic traits will also tell lies, but these lies are not going to profoundly change your life in that way. Does that make sense? So there are levels to this. So I hope that helps. I really do. But honestly, like if you feel that someone is toxic or they have a personality disorder, you got to trust your gut, because you're going to know that there's something not okay with this person. You know? So yes, I hope that helps. Oh goodness, where are you, guy next door? Thank you so much for your donation. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Narcissists often ignore in order to confuse their victims. Stonewalling is refusal to communicate, answer questions, or cater to other people's emotions. Yeah, like then they don't, you're absolutely right. This is very true. They don't want to acknowledge people's thoughts, behaviors, emotions, because they don't care. They don't have the capacity. They don't have the bandwidth. All they care about is themselves, all right, and how it's serving them. And again, this is very much a trauma response, actually, because they don't have the capacity. Remember, their brains have been developed very differently to ours, okay? So when you have emotional trauma, remember I always talk about these in the lives, in the videos. When you're experiencing neurological networking, or as a child, their brain is growing. Does that make sense? The neural networks are forming, okay? So their brain is developing, not growing, developing. So when that child experiences some sort of trauma, be it emotional or sexual, the development stops. Okay, and it takes time for the brain to be able to rewire itself, neuroplasticity, and it does. Even though there's a blockage, the brain is able to rewire itself, because remember, it's such a auspicious time within the child's development. So the brain is always kind of working and seeking to learn. So remember, their way of understanding life, the way that their emotional development works, the way that their neural networks work after they have been reprogramming or rewiring is different, because it's taken time for that to happen. So there's been a stop in the development. This is why a lot of them are emotionally immature. All right. So they don't think the same way that me or you do. This goes down to baseline egotistical behaviors, because that's how they know how to interact. They don't have emotional maturity. And that's why they stonewall, ignore, to confuse people. That's why they do it. It's the lowest form of wit, you know? So thank you so much for bringing that up. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Let me scroll down because I'm so far behind. Yes. So, guys, have you hit the like button? How many likes are we on so far, guys? Okay. Okay, so for you, Chester, I'm going to answer your question. Can a person has both PTSD and NPD together? Yes. Yes, they do. My ex told me he has PTSD, but I watch most of your videos. He has all the traits of a narcissist. Yes, they do, because they are also traumatized individuals. Because of their upbringing, I was just kind of explaining it, because of that upbringing, because of the way that they have learned to be in the world, it is a very much a traumatized sense, isn't it? Like, that's how they have learned to be, from a traumatized place. So yes, but I would say that they don't recognize it as PTSD. I feel like a lot of this merges into kind of maladaptive behaviors in a bid to be able to cope with their current environment. Okay, that's what I think. That's what I feel basically happens. But I'll be honest with you, I will look this up. I want to be sure. So the way that I answer your question was opinion based. Okay, so I don't want to give the wrong information. So I'm just saying this is opinion based. I will look this up and I will answer it in the chat later on this week. But I do feel that a person can have PTSD and NPD together. I'm just thinking, because what we're talking about, post-traumatic stress disorder, ultimately is about trauma. And narcissists, that's what they are. They are traumatized individuals. So yes, but I don't feel that they recognize it in that way. Eric, yes. Why do they need everything perfect? This is a control, isn't it? This is a control mechanism, to have everything perfect, to have everything in the way that they want it to. It's a control, you know? Sweepstakes. Thank you, Yang68. Okay. Thank you so much. Head hurts. Trying to wrap my head around abuse. Oh, bless you. Okay. stop for tonight, stop for this week, okay? You just need to be able to settle your adrenals and your nervous system, okay? Because there's a lot to try and kind of understand what is going on. All right, so it sounds to me like there's obviously like you're processing a lot. Yes, the head hurts because of trying to process everything that is going on. But just take your time with this. Don't bombard yourself, because it does take time. And I do understand it's uncomfortable, isn't it? It's uncomfortable when you have to sit in the not knowing. So I do understand, but don't, sweepstakes, don't go over the top with this. Just take some time. Tomorrow is self-love day. My friends, tomorrow is self-love day. Think about you, do you, okay? And that's what I'm saying to you. Take your crystals, sweepstakes, do your meditations, listen to some kind of healing music, just to settle the nervous system, okay? Because it sounds to me like it's overstimulated at the moment. Okay. I hope that helps, my dear. I hope it helps. Divine One says, do narcissists tend to have really bad memories? Is that a narcissistic trait? Bad memory, it sounds to me like trauma memories that come up. You're welcome for you, Chester. It sounds to me like it's trauma memories that come up, and it could be and trauma memories, another name for that is hallucinations. So possibly, yes, I don't think it necessarily is a narcissistic trait. It's more of a symptom of their circumstances or the things that they have done. But what I do know of, okay, and again, this is just something like working with clients over the last few years. What I have found is narcissists find it really hard to sleep. Like, a lot of them don't sleep. Have any of you, right, in your experiences, known that to be true, where like maybe someone that that's narcissistic, your partner or your parents or your sibling or whatever, have they ever mentioned, or have you ever seen that they find it really difficult to sleep? Because that's what I've heard, like, obviously from client work. Oh, you're welcome, sweepstakes. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad it's helped. I'm glad. Oh. Yes. So I know that a lot of them do not sleep. Beautiful strands. Yes, I'd love to hear your view on my question above. Why do they suddenly stop stalking and cyber stalking? I've been no contact for 2+ years, and it just went away a few months ago, my dear. Beautiful strands. Do you know what it is? They've got new supply. I'm sorry to say it. I'm so sorry. I know it might be triggering, but their attention is taken away from you. But please know that at some point they will be back. And you having stalking and cyber stalking, this is a crime. This is a crime, beautiful strands. Okay, so if this is something that you have been experiencing, you're probably really glad that you're not anymore, but cyber stalking is a crime. And stalking. So this is something that should be reported to the authorities, just to keep you safe, okay? But for them just disappearing, going, and you're not seeing them, online and watching you anymore, I would say that probably is that their attention is elsewhere. All right. But don't let this trigger you. It's not. I hope it doesn't. But they will be back. They always come back. They always do. Unfortunately, that's part of their behavioral palette. It's what they do. They come back. Okay, so I hope that helps. You need to put protection in place, or maybe if you can, make your account private. But if you can't, if you use it for business or things like that, then I think you can mute that person or something like that. So I'm not sure, because I'm not the best. Do you know who you should ask? Yang, do you know? He's like a whiz kid when it comes to like technology and all of that. He knows. So Yang, can you mute someone if you've got like a business account? Can you mute someone, on Instagram or maybe like YouTube or whatever, like on socials? If you could just let us know. Good morning, Tamara. Hello. Thank you for being here. Margot says they sleep with one eye open and one hand on their self. Yes. Oh my God. Yes, they so do. Yes, yes, yes. They do this. Absolutely. John Tracy says they hardly sleep if they're triggered narcissistic injury. Yes, this is what I'm saying. They really like, this is all I've like heard. They can't. It's just, yeah. Ian, mine struggled at night big time with sleeping. Yeah, they do. They are vampires. Isabel, yes. The guy next door says, I started imagining a cast up in the Romanian mountains where narcissists gather to rest in coffins without sleep. I love that. I love that. Oh, Yang. So beautiful strands. Yes, you can hide stories and posts. So there is a way, okay? There is a way. So just look it up. Maybe you might be able to kind of secure yourself in that way if you are being cyberstalked. But remember, it is a crime, so it should be reported if you feel confident enough to be able to report it. So I hope that helps. Thank you, Yang. Yeah, they do come back, don't they? Divine One. They always find their way back. It's part. Do you know what? I did a video. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but the reason why they always come back, or they watch, or they do all of these things. And yes, and also I've done like loads of videos of them like stalking and watching and all of this. It's so weird. It's so. That's not my professional opinion. Like, to me, it's weird. Like, why would you? Yeah, creepy. That is the word, Margot. Yes, creepy. That's what it is. And the reason why they do this because of their is because of their attachment disorder. All right. Remember, the way that we relate to others really does kind of predetermine how we were brought up, like our childhood experiences. So if you take the narcissist childhood experience and kind of like look at it the way that it is, okay, of course it's going to be disordered. Of course there's not going to be love there. There's not going to be any acceptance. And ultimately that's what they're looking at. They're lost individuals looking for their caregiver, their parents, someone to give them that acceptance. But all along, what they need to do is accept themselves. But they can't do that because they do not have the bandwidth. They're not aware. So what happens is this then shows up in a symptom of an attachment disorder. They do not attach to you in a healthy way, but they can't also detach. So this is about, it's not that they are in love with you and that they have changed and they want to come back. That's not what happens here. And I think a lot of us do kind of think, oh, you know, like if they're watching and if they're there, they love us and they want us back. And this, it's not about that. They're not able to attach onto you in a healthy way that actually will make it's not healthy. It doesn't make you feel secure. It's not, there isn't this growth mindset where you grow together, you know, as a couple. This doesn't happen. They haven't, you know, they're not there for you. They're literally, they're in competition with you. So they're always looking to see what you are doing. Okay, they're always looking to see what you are doing. If you're doing better without them, how can they be doing better? How can they be living their life? So they're always watching. And some of them, if they are brave enough, they come back for you, don't they? That's what they do. It's all to do with how it was left off, how it finished, and whether they do cycle back around to you. But this all depends on how strong you are, because it's all about you. It's about you putting boundaries. If you want this person in your life, they'll be in your life forever. You can have this person in your life forever. But if you are like, I'm done, I'm finished with this trauma, I'm finished with this cycle, then that's up to you to say, I'm finished. I don't want this anymore. Beautiful. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad that it's not triggering. I completely understand. And I know, like, you know, when sometimes, you hear it like, oh, they've got someone else. I hope that I wasn't that person saying, oh, they got someone, because it usually means that their attention is elsewhere, but, yeah, they'll be back. I love that, Isabel. Projection is confession. I love that. That is so cool. That is so... Hello, Bob. Hello, how are you? Hope you are well. I'm glad that you're here on the live. I hope you haven't been watching my videos. I really do. I hope you haven't. Okay. Ian Stewart, bad mistake. I took her back. It's okay. It's okay. We've all done that. We've all been there. It's okay. But it's all right. It's a work in progress. We sometimes all do go back. All right. And there's lessons that we still need to learn, but it's okay. Don't be harsh on yourself. You see through it, you realize, okay, that's the most important. It's a process. Okay. Oh, thank you, Walter PPK7. It's best not to let the guard down with the narcissist. Maintain no contact and please don't respond. Narcissists love any reaction, positive or negative, just my opinion. But you know what? You are 100% right. That's exactly what happens. They love the reaction. They want to hurt you. They want to hurt you, okay? Because not you, as in like you guys. Whoever it is, okay, they want to, because this is what I'm saying. This is how they know how to be in the world. It's always about, you know what? It's about having an effect on someone else. So when they will be able to determine how you react or how you respond to something. They'll be able to determine, like whether you care about them. It's always about the emotional validation. That's all it's about. Emotional validation. They just need to have that remember, at the core of this, they never had any of this as children. So now they are looking for anyone and everyone to be able to give this to them. But the recipe for them to ever get better is to give that to themselves. And they can't do that. So they essentially can't heal. But again, this is a matter of opinion. I know that there is a lot of literature out there that says that, yeah, they can with certain therapeutic methods. But I disagree. I do disagree. I know like dialectical behavioral therapy, because that centers a lot about understanding emotions. And I do remember I worked in a place, in a center that worked a lot with personality disorders and eating disorders. And we did do like DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy. But it doesn't work on everybody. And if someone is open enough to be able to receive therapy, and this is what you got to remember, because I know that a lot of us here, like, or I've heard from clients when they've said, oh yeah, my ex, they're actually going to therapy. They're actually, they're trying to work on themselves. But, ultimately when someone comes to therapy or some sort of counseling, they've got to come because they want to initiate change. All right. And so it doesn't mean that there has to be, that you can't go to therapy if there's an ulterior motive, like if they're trying to change because they're trying to get an ex back, or you're going to therapy because they want to learn how to be able to manipulate someone better. Like, you can talk about your feelings. This is what we were talking about last week, cognitive empathy. You can explain your feelings, but if you don't feel them, how do you know what a feeling is? Because a feeling is about feeling. Emotion, sorry. Emotion is about feeling. You can theorize emotions. Of course you can. Cognitive empathy. So it's about talking about your emotions, but to feel them is something completely different. And I feel that a lot of people that do go to therapy do actually, what kind of work can be done if you are, like talking about cognitive empathy, cognitively talking about your feelings. So I hope that helps. Sharuk says, I said no to a marriage proposal and a vacation and a retreat. Bless you. Oh my goodness. See, this is the love bombing. I was done. He gave me love bombing, devaluation, discard, watching the videos. I was 2 steps ahead. Check you out. This is exactly it. So basically he was trying to buy you, wasn't he? With the retreats, with the vacation. Yes. Good that you saw it. Do you know, a lot of us don't, and I think that is what is important. You saw through it. That's what's important. Matt says, dear Anushka, is it possible for a narcissist to feel love only through sex? That's a really good question, actually. Hold on one moment. They don't feel love and they don't feel a connection. So the way that we understand intimacy or intercourse, that is more about bonding with that person in your relationship. And it does because, like, again, I've done a video about this, guys, but it's about bonding the two of you together. Oh, Yang, feeling is about feeling. course you would pick up on it. Doesn't matter. So they don't bond in that way. They're not bonding. They're using it as a tool to be able to manipulate you. Did I do a video? Yes, this was a video yesterday or the day before. Yeah, they use it's a tool. They don't bond. So it's not about them feeling love, because love is a feeling. Love is an emotion. It's something that you feel. Okay, it's something that you have for someone, but they don't. It's they don't. It's a connection, isn't it? They don't connect. Am I making any sense tonight? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope that makes sense. So no, they don't feel love or a connection through sex. Yeah, sorry. Gary says, my ex shouting at me, telling me I need therapy and meds, compared me to my mother. Therapy is always for self-healing, never for someone else's good. Yes. Oh, bless you. So, oh, wow. So that's all. This is, do you know what, Gary? This is what I was talking about earlier. The external locus of control. It's always someone else's fault. So that was shouting at you, telling that you're the one that is in the wrong, that you take responsibility for your actions and that you make a change. That's ultimately what she was saying to you, that she's not going to take responsibility for herself. You have to change. So yes, you're absolutely right. Therapy is about healing. It's about you wanting to do that work, that further work. And if someone's telling you that you need to go to therapy, well, then you're forced into going into something. You know, when you want to make a change, or when you want to understand yourself deeper, this is what I mean. You will come to this space, because that's ultimately what it is. It's a space for you to be able to look at what's happening, what's going on for you, and to work on this. So I'm sorry, Gary, that you had to go through this, but this is what I mean. The narcissist has externally, blames everybody else, says that it's everybody else's fault, and that you have to make those changes. Bob, thank you. Anushka, I'm still waking up at same time every day between 8 and 8:15 in flight mode and anxiety. Goes away after 15 minutes or so once I'm up. Cannot go back to sleep. Hope this ends soon. It sounds to me like there's some sort of residual trauma that's coming up for you, Bob, especially because it seems like your subconscious is waking you up at this specific time. It sounds that, it's residual trauma that's coming up for you. Do you know, I would try to explore that further. Try journaling, okay? Try having those conversations with yourself to be able to for it to come up, because ultimately, in order for you to heal this, you have to go through the storm, if that makes sense. Because if you leave it, it will continue. So it's almost as though I'm kind of saying you have to understand what's going on here. It might be emotional trauma. It could be something that's coming up for you. Maybe you were triggered. It's a triggering. That's what it is. It's a triggering. Something is coming up. And I wonder, if you really thought about it and really connected to you, would you be try to understand what is happening? What's coming up for you? Do you know what I mean? I feel like there is an answer. There is a reason. It's why your body is trying to tell you something. Because remember, as Van der Kolk says, the body keeps the score. All right, so our body does it. We've got the muscle memory, emotional memory. We've got memories in our mind as well. So there's a reason why. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I don't know what it is, but I'm just trying to give you tools to try and help you to uncover what it can be. I feel like deep down, you will have the answers. You will know what it is, but it means that you have to give yourself the time and the space to listen. I don't know if you meditate to connect to you. If not, then try journaling, try writing, try to release it in some way. It is trauma that is stuck in your body. okay? That is trying to tell you something. Oh, Bob, you still watch some of the older videos for reassurance. Bless you. You know what? You know it all. You know it. Bob says, feels like when I was last with her. So is it, okay, so if that is the case, is there that you're looking for answers? Are you looking for closure? What are you looking for? What is it that you're hoping to uncover? If this is when you were last with her, what was it about that event or that experience that really triggered you? So it's about kind of going back in time, looking at that specific experience, that specific time, you know, because that I hope that helps. I really do. Hello, Laurie. Yes, it's been a while since you've been. I hope you're well. Matt says, Bob, start running, get yourself tired, maybe start trial running, just do it. Yeah, that's another way of releasing trauma. That's a really good idea, Matt. Yes, running if you can, or walking. That will really help to release the trapped trauma. I always say that exercise is brilliant because it moves the cortisol, gets your heart pumping. That's really good. That really helps. Those of you that like have maybe experienced PTSD or CPTSD, that really does help. Like trapped trauma, when it stays in your body, makes you very anxious, you know, rumination, the thoughts go round and round and it's just too much. And then sometimes it obviously impairs our sleep as well. So that's important, you know, like to get some sort of activity. So Bob says no closure when I left her. Okay, so that could be why it is coming up, why you, for example, even watch the videos for reassurance. Did I get it right? Was I wrong about her? Maybe should this have gone a different way? This is about trusting yourself, Bob, okay? Trust that you have done the right thing, okay? You didn't get it wrong. There's a reason why this information, the videos that you've watched, like my videos or other videos that you've watched, you know, there's a reason why they resonated. So you're welcome, Bob. So for you, it's about the closure. You're not going to get it. This is about you trusting that actually what you have done, you know, and what you have experienced and where you are now, you were right. Okay, the closure, my friends, we have to make our own closure because we are never going to get it. We are not they're not going to come up to you and say, hey, hi, you know what? The reason why you're feeling like this is because I'm a narcissist and I have an emotional inability to be able to connect to you. They're never going to say this. And they're never going to say, sorry, I've done all those things. Sorry, I cheated on you. Sorry, I made you feel like you were nothing. Sorry, I put you down. Sorry, I said all those things. They are never going to say this to you. Okay. You guys would do that. Of course you would. You would, but you would never do that. So if you did something wrong to someone, of course you would apologize, but they're never going to do that because they don't want to take responsibility. If they take responsibility, remember, if someone is taking responsibility, they say sorry, then they have to change. They're taking on that responsibility of change, that they admit that they have done something wrong and they're going to do something about it. I mean, how many times can one person say sorry? Do you know what I mean? Like, so for them, it's about not taking the responsibility. They carry on and do whatever it is that they want to do. They carry on. All right. So you make your own closure. The fact that this information, you know, like not even just my videos, like other people's, like about narcissism or about toxic behaviors or about someone being nasty and evil, like there's a reason why this information resonates. If they weren't like that, or if it wasn't something that you have experienced, you wouldn't have PTSD, you wouldn't have CPTSD, you wouldn't even be asking for closure, you wouldn't not be able to sleep, you wouldn't have them watching you. Like all of this information resonates for a reason. And guys, you need to trust this within you, okay? That's what this is about. It's about connecting back to you and trusting you that you haven't made a mistake. This information makes sense to you for a reason, and one reason only, is because you went through it and you are right, okay? And Bob, that was for you. Chris, hello. Thank you for your question. I live with my ex-narc because we have a high and complex special needs child together. Okay. It is really hard living with her and working as a team. I keep trying to help her for my child. Oh, Chris, that's a difficult situation. Bless you. That is a difficult situation. However, it is not impossible. Okay. So I feel like with people who are toxic or narcissistic, it's not about a like-minded kind of teamwork. It's not about being together and growing. It's more about them on their own as a separate entity or against the situation. That it's not about the two of you together. I'm really sorry to say this. I know this might be triggering, and I know that this is a challenging situation that you are in. But you're doing this for your child because you love your child very much. So this is also about you putting some sort of boundaries in place where you are able to protect yourself. You are not protecting yourself against your child, but her, your wife, so it's challenging because they're going to do things that kind of further their own needs. Might even use the child as a pawn against you or try and manipulate the situation. But ultimately, you know what? Ultimately, this is what I'm getting is this is about you putting boundaries in place for you. Okay, for you. And also remaining a little bit detached from her and this situation. I hope that you have someone that you can talk to, someone that you can release these thoughts. If you don't, or if it's not something that you can do, try journaling. You need to be able to have a release, to be able to talk to someone or have a release, maybe some sort of activity or something that you like doing. I don't know, going for a gym, go to the gym, go for a walk. I don't know, going into the car, driving, maybe listening to some music or something that might really help, So please, you've got to do something that's going to work for you. I hope that helps. Levon James, I love that. We create a crowd fund to build a rocket and send them all to the moon. Problem solved. Yes, I love that. Absolutely. I love that. Kevin says, Patty, the more that you put yourself first, do your thing, the easier it will get. I agree. This is about concentrating on you, putting the boundaries in place and putting yourself first, Isabel says, check out Tim Fletcher, Understand Trauma. Thank you for Isabel, thank you for the suggestion. So check out Tim Fletcher, Understand Trauma, part 13, Betrayal Trauma. So helpful. Yes, so thank you for the suggestion, Isabel. It's important. So Tim Fletcher, Understand Trauma. Yes, 13-part Betrayal Trauma. Yes, don't worry, Yang. It's okay. It's okay. Eating tzatziki is Yang. Are you literally snacking again? Eating pizza. He loves his pizza or ice cream, but I don't think you'll be eating ice cream. It's cold, isn't it? But you are. Okay, so guy next door, thank you so much. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Our closure has to be established within ourselves. I love this. The closure is making peace with who they are. All the closure and answers remain in their actions. Absolutely. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. You're absolutely right, guy next door. Our closure has to be established within ourselves. So it's about the acceptance that this person is the way that they are, not because of you. It's not your fault. You can't fix them. It can't go forward anyway. All the closure and answers remain in their actions. You are absolutely right. So right. Chris, oh, you're welcome. I'm glad this has helped. I'm sorry. I know it's quite a difficult situation, but you know what? It's not impossible, all right? And you will get through this, okay? You'll be all right. So thank you. So now, can you get digestive issues and feeling sick from narcissistic abuse? Oh, I'm really glad that you have asked this question, and a brilliant question. Brilliant question. The answer is yes. And the reason why, and I hope that you're not experiencing this, but if you are, that's okay. It's not okay, but it's okay. Like, you can heal this. All right. A lot of people, or a lot of my clients, or a lot of things that I have read, trauma can be directly linked to IBS or stomach problems, digestion problems, simply because of the anxiety that we feel. Could be like high levels of cortisol within our body as well, which really disrupts the body's functioning as well. So it is something that, yes, that we can experience. And feeling sick is most probably to do with the anxiety, and probably higher levels of cortisol and adrenaline, which again really does attack the stomach. Because remember, these hormones, okay, they are produced when we feel stress, or when we feel anxiety, when we feel threatened in some way. It's perceived threat. So our body produces this this chemical hormone so that it kind of boosts us into action. But the body or the mind can't decipher whether it's real threats that we have got in front of us, or whether it's emotional threats. So in our cases, it's emotional threat. So the body will still produce this, but what happens is it goes into our bloodstream, and it's delivered all the way around our body. And yes, and of course, for some of us, it does kind of transpire into our digestion system. So when we do experience high level of this, it does disrupt the functioning of our stomach, and we can't eat properly, or we eat too much, or we have cravings for very salty or very sweet foods, because it's trying to regulate itself hormonally. There's an imbalance of what's going on. And so it makes it very hard for us then because it's disrupting our daily functioning, and it makes it really hard for us to be able to regulate ourselves. Our sleep is affected, our appetite is affected, because narcissistic abuse, because this is trauma, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of anxiety, okay, there's a lot of overthinking. Our whole system, our mind, our body, our soul, all of this is disrupted. And so it's trying to find homeostasis, meaning it's trying to find baseline. So somewhere that it can feel safe. And so that's what you first need to do now, is find safety, a space or safety where you can land. And then as your nervous system calms down, so will these issues. If you are unable to eat, what I would suggest to you is perhaps, do you know what I have? Guys, I know that you guys are really good at this, and so please do put your suggestions in the description box. All I'm seeing is tzatziki and gyros, and I'm like literally hungry. So please, guys, stop talking about Greek food, because I literally have, my mouth is salivating. I'm literally reading gyro and tzatziki, and I'm like, I want that now. So what is really good for if you have digestive issues now, for example, bone broth, that really helps to calm the nervous system, gives like the nutrients that you need, because what your body's doing is it's burning all of the, the calories, the goodness, the nutrition. So it's kind of like you need to kind of replace it. So for example, if you can't eat solid foods, try juicing or smoothies, bone broth, and it's all about settling your nervous system, and then your appetite may return. Or if it's dysregulated, try not to over binge on like really salty foods or really sweet foods. So I really, really hope that helps. Oh, bless you, Chris. I've got fibromyalgia. I can never say that word. Sorry, I can't. And I'm going to embarrass myself trying to say it. Fibromyalgia. Yes, there is also a link between the two. Fibromyalgia and trauma and abuse. So again, this is an overstimulation of the nervous system and of the adrenal system. So ultimately what we need to do is we need to calm that, and then everything else will follow suit. Music, getting out into nature, grounding, like earthing, getting your feet on the earth and grounding. This would really, really help. Nostalgia Starfish says they never cared they never cared because they're incapable of love. You're absolutely right. Yes, only games, stunted mind. You just got to tell yourself it was an illusion and the issue is them, not you, and they'll never be happy. Nostalgia Starfish, I love that. That's brilliant. Thank you so much for that. That's really true. It is. It's stunted, emotionally stunted mind. We talked about this earlier, and that's exactly it. Joseph says, vagus nerve work has been slowly helping me. Yes, not vagus nerve. Brilliant. Yes, helping me. Also doing little things that genuinely make you happy. Probiotics. Yes. Zantex for histamine and reflux, and protein shakes help me. Thank you, Joseph. Yes. So the vagus nerve, that's really, really important. I know that there's bits and pieces online, but I know that there's certain people who really focus on this, like therapists and things. So that's something that you should check out. But I'm really glad that that's been helping you. And probiotics. Yes, this is about getting the nutrition into your body and not, because when you're stressed, it really does burn, all of that within you. Bruno says, drink bouillon, the most potential and energetic thing. Thank you for this. You're right. Fluid food, digest slowly. Soup is the answer. Yes. This is another way for those of you that are finding it very difficult to be able to eat. This is very true. Thank you for your advice, all of you. This is brilliant. I knew you guys knew. I just knew that you guys would know. Levon James says, I lost weight from 55 kilograms to 38. Wow. Doctor said I got to change, but with a Xanax a day, BPD, but it's manageable now, never toxic, and got lots of help. Oh, that's good. Okay, so it's about being able to regulate your emotions. That's really important. Petra says, take your mind away from the emotions and rest. Yes. I was told grounding would help. Yes, Isabel, grounding really helps. It's really wonderful. It helps to kind of relax the nervous system so it's not overstimulated all the time. So absolutely, yes. Yes. Kevin says, Narc husband drove me to drink heavily. Oh, bless you. It's your way of coping, wasn't it? And after 10 years, not back to smoking and now separated and divorced in the world, I realized I would not let my narc husband make me engage in bad behaviors. Yes, Kevin, this is good. I'm so glad that you are able to override them, but these were coping strategies. And I think a lot of us, like to cope, we do sometimes turn to these illicit substances or maybe alcohol to be able to cope, for it to kind of, because I know that our emotions, we are overwhelmed. This is so much that's going on. Like I said before, this isn't just a relationship that you guys have just got over. This is like a traumatic experience. And you're trying to make sense of it. You're trying to kind of work through it. And so using substances or alcohol, whilst obviously I'm not saying, oh, it's good. Yeah, carry on using it. We know it's bad. It's not going to help you. But I know that sometimes right at the beginning, we need something because it's too overwhelming on our emotions, on our feelings that are feelings. Yes. On our emotions and feelings, and also our thoughts. So we're trying to cope with this difficult situation, trying to understand it, trying to work, our way through it. And it's okay. Forgive yourself. You needed to work through it. You needed to understand it. You needed just to kind of land in yourself. And what is wonderful here, okay, what is wonderful is that you have seen through it and you've realized that, okay, those substances don't actually help me anymore. Okay, and I can do this. I'm going to heal, because the only way to get past this isn't by numbing it, isn't by escaping reality, is actually to go through it. But to do that, it takes guts. And I get it, guys. I know it takes guts to do the healing. And you know what? Every single one of you that are on this journey, this is what I'm saying. You are so strong, so noble. You should be so proud of yourselves that you actually are going on this journey to try and understand yourself, trying to get through this. This isn't easy. This isn't for the faint-hearted. Why do you think it's you? Why do you think you were chosen for this? Why do you think the narcissist chose you? There's a reason behind this. There's a reason for everything. Okay. And so you're welcome, Kevin. You're welcome. Yes, acknowledging it. Yeah, who others might think. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it takes guts, all right, to be able to go through this, okay, to feel your feelings. But it's all right. And you know what? You guys you've done it. You've embarked on this journey. A lot of you are still, like, you're on it. But remember, life is, we're always learning. We're always going to be learning, guys. It would be so boring, like, it honestly would be. Like, imagine if there was nothing happening in your life, like literally every day was the same, like Groundhog Day. What was that film? Oh, there was a film where they were talking about NPCs, non-player NPCs, non-player characters. They're just there. They just do the same thing all the time and do the same thing every weekend or every day or whatever. And they just don't feel, they just don't live. You're living, even though you're going through the bad thing now and you're, working through it. But there is going to be an end to it. There is like the end. It doesn't mean you're going to be stuck like this for the rest of your life. So keep going forward. All right. You can't look back because the past is the past. It's done, so you got to keep going forward. And this is what I'm saying. Like, even though, some of you might be in that space, where, they might be hoovering you or they might be like trying to get contact with you. Thank you so much, Bob. I will answer your question. But just one moment, like they might be hoovering you, but think about it. These people live in the past. There's nothing in the past. The past is gone. You can't bring it back. It lives in your memories, but yeah, you make the choice of whether you want to access that memory or not. So this really is about going forward. Think about it. It's like this analogy, or I kind of use in my therapeutic work. Like, imagine you're a runner, okay, and you're running and you can see that finish line right in front of you. But the worst thing you can do is look back, because what's the point? What you see is the finish line. Why are you looking back? You're going to trip up. You're not going to see what's in front of you if you keep looking back. So this really is about going through this, being brave enough, being strong enough, resilient enough. And that's what it builds within you, is the resilience, is the strength, is to go forward. Bob, okay, here we go. Thank you. Again, thank you so much. Here we go. Right, good news is once you see them for who they really are, you can't unsee it. Yes. I could never go back to a Hoover knowing what I know now. Knowledge is power. Absolutely. Knowledge is power. And it really is. It saves your life. Doesn't it, my friends? It saves your life. You see it, you know it. That's your closure. Bob, this is the closure that you've been looking for. All right? Once you see it, you can't unsee it. This is it. Trust it, okay? And these are your words. Bob, these are your words, not mine. You've seen it for what it is, okay? So trust that. You didn't get it wrong, okay? Okay, thank you so much for your donation. One more to reach 100. Guys, if any of you haven't liked, please, just one more like, guys. One more. We've got it up to 100. Oh, Laurie, Yang has got the link for you. Or you can email me. Isabel says, Paddy, sadness is part of the healing process. Yes, it is. It's part of the acceptance of what has happened. Matt says, Anushka, it was interesting for me. I've been working as a photographer, social and humanitarian issues around the world, the wars. Bless you. What an amazing and interesting job. Never had any mental issues after relationship with narcissist. Needed 6 months of peace. Well, I tell you, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, Matt. Bless you. But that's because you were traumatized. That's because your nervous system was overstimulated. What you have to understand, like, we go into these relationships, okay? And we go in there with a pure heart thinking, okay, so this person is for me. They want to grow. They want to make something of this. And we want to be together. But you see, they don't meet you halfway. It's almost as though they have another agenda. Do you know what I mean? Like, they have another purpose to all of this. Okay, and that's why it really baffles us why this person is like this. Why would you use someone like this? Why would you do this? Why would you behave like this? But they do because they have an agenda. They want something else from you. They want emotional validation. This isn't about a relationship where the two of you grow and become, something more, where you grow to be together. It's not about that. This isn't a growth mindset. You're not together as a team. They want something different to what you do. And I'm not surprised that taking 6 months out, and I'm glad that you were able to give yourself, that space to be able to work through it. Do you know what I mean? Like this is really, really good, really good. So yeah, it's just because your nervous system was overstimulated. Yes. And you're right, Gary, it eventually does catch up to the narcissist. Karma does not escape them. Karma does not escape them. Patty says, what are you drinking tonight? Oh, this is hibiscus tea. It's Moroccan, I think. No, yes, it's more. I got it in a shop in Greece when I was there, and they, and every so often I kind of steep it, and it's hibiscus with apple. There was this really lovely little shop, in I forgot what it's called, the shopping centre. Yang, it's that one, that new bit where they've got all like the food courts and everything, and they had all these different teas, and of course I was like, I need this. So yes, this has come from Greece. It's really nice. Hibiscus with apple, and it's got a little bit of cinnamon in, and I put honey in it. It's just really nice. It's gone cold now though. Yeah, but it's still nice cold. Gary says, never let the narcissist know about your next move. It doesn't matter the circumstance. Do not react. Save your emotions for better things. Yes. Save your things. Save your emotions for better things. Yes. And that is boundaries. Gary, that's perfect. Yes. That is boundaries. That's what it's about. It's about putting boundaries in place. That's what it is. And it's about protection, ultimately, isn't it? Save your emotions for better things. Don't worry, Layla. At least you're here. Don't worry. I'm late to the love today. I'm wondering how to deal with or support a grieving narcissist. He lost a parent last week. I've offered my support and he seems aware of that. Hasn't mistreated me since. Okay, well, that's really kind of you to do that. And of course you would. Just be aware, okay, who he is, okay, so it's about putting boundaries in place. Keep yourself safe. Don't overstretch yourself, because I know you're going to be thinking, oh, this poor person, like I've had feelings for them and they've lost their parent. Yes, it's very sad. I do understand that, and I know I can say this because I'm outside of this situation. But what I would say to you is just be aware of how much you are giving, how much energy you are, like expendiating from yourself, and how much you are giving. So just remember to keep checking in with yourself and don't overgive or overshare or to put boundaries. Remember to have boundaries all the time. It is so, it's important. Yeah, it's in the small mall where, I forgot. It's like, it's newly built. It's really nice. They had all the teas there. It was lovely. Isabel says, accepting what is helping, but it does take time. Radical acceptance is key. Isabel, I'm glad that you brought that up. It's true. Acceptance is, you will reach acceptance is on one of the last stages on your healing journey, right? Because it's a whole process in itself to kind of get there. Okay, so when you accept that this person is the way that they are, there is nothing that you could have, should have, or would have done that would have changed this outcome or this process or what has happened. So it's not about you. It's not that you didn't do something or you should have done something. It's more about accepting things as they are. All right. And it takes time to get there. So some of you are probably thinking, oh my God, like I'm not even there. Like, don't worry. It takes time. It is a process to get to that place. But once you have acceptance, this is why I love acceptance and commitment therapy. I really love this therapeutic modality, and I use it a lot in my work with the clients. And it's about getting to a place where you're like, okay, things are the way that they are. Remember, life is fluid, and it should be fluid. All right? It should move from one to the next with ease. Okay? When we try to control outcomes, when we try to control something for it to go the way that we want it to, it never works out in our best favor. Like, for example, let's take the narcissist. They're all about control. They always want things to turn out or be a certain way. All right? And look at what they do. They're literally going frantic, trying to manipulate, trying to gaslight, trying to kind of control this situation so it goes a certain way in their favor. So what they're doing is they're changing the trajectory of how things should work out, how they should work out naturally, organically. All right? But it never works out in their favor because at the end of the day, like, we all see through it. We all see what they are like. So that method doesn't actually work. You know, that's what I'm saying. We have to remain fluid. And again, I'm going to bring up this word, is trust that things will work out for you. I need to take a dose of my own medicine. I really do. Things will work out for you for the way that they're supposed to, in the best way. All right. So that's all about trusting yourself, accepting things are the way that they are. What can I learn from it? Because this is a positive way of looking at it. Not thinking, oh my God, I've had this narcissist in my life. Look what they've done. They've taken so much from me. They've done this to me. They've done that. All right, they have. But let's change the perspective on this. Let's look at it as like, you know what? This person was in my life for a reason. What can I learn from this experience? What can I learn about myself? How can I grow from this? Because this is what it's about. We're always going to have these experiences or these things that happen to these scenarios, these scenarios and experiences that happen, situations, that's what I was trying to say, situations that happen to us, all right? And whether you like it or not, that is going to happen. So we have to remain fluid within this. So it's not about stopping it from happening, but more about trying to understand this and trying to understand kind of like the message within it. And this is how we grow from this. This is how we strengthen, because what we do have that is always going to be there with us, is ourselves. That's why the connection to ourselves is very important. That's why we need to trust ourselves and trust that things will work out in the time that they need to, in the way that they are supposed to. And that is what is important, my friends. That is what, or how we should be looking at this situation, is that this is all going to work out for us. We are on this journey because we are here to learn something, or we are supposed to grow from this, okay? There's no point looking back. There's nothing there in the past. It's done. It's gone. It's not going to return. So this is about moving forward on your journey and remaining fluid, okay? Joseph, block. Yes, block. If that is the case. Yes, Margaret, yes, absolutely. Radical acceptance is something that is really, really important. Kevin says cognitive behavioral therapy also helps. We need to change the self. Yes, you're absolutely right. We do need to change the self-sabotaging thoughts on a loop running through our heads and refusing to allow the narcissist to rent space in our brains. You are absolutely right. CBT does help. And it does help us to kind of understand our emotions and where we are self-sabotaging, like what is the kind of the recipe for the formula, like where we are sabotaging in all of this. So yes, thank you, Kevin, for saying this. This is really, really important. And we do, like, we need to understand how our thoughts how we do ruminate. This usually happens in the evening, doesn't it? It's always at night. It's always when we feel tired that these thoughts keep going round and round in our head. That's why I always suggest that journaling really helps, like writing it down so we kind of release it so it's not in our minds all the time. Okay, that is what would really, really help as well. And also, sometimes if we don't like writing, I always suggest to my clients to kind of like voice note it. So like if you've got it on your phone, you're able to kind of like write it, say it into your phone, and you can delete it. Or, you know, write a letter. Writing a letter, the unsent letter. This is another thing that I used to really use as a tool with my clients, is the unsent letter. So you write a letter, but then do not, oh my God, do not send it to anybody. This is for you. It's for your therapeutic process. It's burning it. So yes, this would really, really help. Laurie, if you look at the link in the description box, you'll be able to get that if you wanted to get a session with me, but also you can also email me, so that's not a problem. Layla says, I have another question regarding YouTube. How do I know who to trust within the YouTube communities? How do I know if commentators are actually real people and not robots or not narcissists? That's also, do you know what? That's a really good question as well. And I'm sure that a lot of us have actually thought that. That's a really, really good question. And thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so the commentators, okay, how someone writes, okay, you're going to be able to get an essence of them, even though you're not seeing them, even though you're not, you don't know them, they're not in front of you, you'll be able to get an essence of how someone writes. If they are a troll or narcissistic, they will have there's going to be a certain anger in their words. You've got to think about the sentence formation and the words that they choose to talk about or express themselves. It's all about the words that someone uses to be able to express themselves. Okay, that's another thing that you need to look out for. Also, another thing that I just want to mention as well, and I don't think I have this in this community, which I am so grateful for, is the fact that some coaches or some YouTube channels, some people, they like to keep their communities in like a victim mindset, or they're very angry at the narcissist saying that they are this, or really like calling them out on their bad behavior, like, or they what's it called, being really rude or nasty. So that what it is keeping that person stuck in a certain mindset. And again, you'll be able to sense the energy. Layla, this is another thing. It's about sensing the energy of how you feel, or the topics that are being talked about. And if it's a robot, then again, it's going to be the terminology that they use, you know. Kevin says, Anushka, are you real or are you AI generated? Look at Yang, like straight on it. Yeah, I'm AI. That's up for you guys to decide whether I'm real or a robot, and whether you've seen me glitching on here. Okay, that's up to you, for you to decide whether I'm real or not. That's a funny one, Kevin. So yes. Sometimes I think cloning would be great, because I could be in 3 places at once. Not that I would advocate it or want that to happen. So I could be doing a live, recording videos, actually going out, or maybe at the gym at the same time. You know, there'd be 3 of me. 3. It could work. It could work, cloning. No, I don't advocate it. That's what they do. Truth will resonate. Petrus Domini. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I know, Kevin, it was a joke. I know. That was a good one, though. Am I a robot and glitching? Yes, and of course, Yang has to jump on it. I know. He's all over it. Yes, I make a mistake or whatever. Yeah. Feeling is a feeling. Yeah. You guys. Oh, Bruno. Stop with the food. The tzatziki and the calamari. Oh, that'd be so nice. I'd love that. You're welcome, Layla. Yes. No, I hope that's answered the question. I hope that has. I know you do, Kevin. That's all right. I know you do. I know. It was a joke. It was a joke. It's fine. I understand it. Oh, bless you. Winnie Bag. Oh, Winnie Bagola. I'm sorry. Winnie. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say Winnie. Thank you. King Ming, hello. Oh, that's a good one, Isabel. Are you real, Kevin? Yes, Kevin is real. Oh my goodness. Yes. None of us are robots. Like I can, do you know, this is, like, because even when I'm like reading the comments and things like that, like I can, you can tell, you can get a sense of someone. It's literally to do with like the words that someone uses, like the words that someone says and the sentence formation. You can always get a sense. Because remember how you right, this is another thing, right? And this will help you guys like going forward. If you're not sure about a person, listen to the things that they say. Listen to the words that they choose to use to describe themselves, describe a situation. Okay. Don't be sorry, Kevin. It was brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Don't you dare be sorry. Take that back. But this is really helpful as well. Like, because some of us might be like, on dating sites, for example, and I don't advocate this, honestly, they don't work. They're just, I think we talked about this last week or the week before. Like, honestly, this is how you know how someone is like. You get a sense of someone, like when you're in the chat or you're talking, so anyone can be anybody online. Do you know what I mean? Like they can pretend to be anyone. They can put up these weird pictures, or not weird pictures, but not even pictures of themselves. So this is what I'm saying. Like, you can get a sense of that person. Think about like how they are talking to you, what subjects are they bringing up, how they are communicating with you. So, like, I mean, I don't know what you guys look like. You all know what I look like. So this is such a strange dynamic. Like, I don't know what you guys look like. Like, some of you are, yes, I do, because I've worked with you guys, but the majority of you, I don't know, like, you guys can see me, I can't see you guys, but I can tell, like, by the words that you're using, or the questions that you're asking. That's how you can get a sense of that person. Paddy H, how do I stop ruminating? And it's been over 12 months. Oh my gosh, it's been over 12 months. Okay, so first of all, what I would say, okay, is you need to release it. Okay, so it's trapped thoughts. They keep going round and round in your mind. Okay, they need a release. What would be really good is either talking it out or writing it. That really helps, because the worst thing you can do is keep it stuck in your mind and for it to go round and round. Write it, talk about it, whether that's, I don't know, friends or family or a mental health professional, someone that you trust, someone that you feel comfortable being able to express this to. Okay. Another thing is, because your nervous system is overstimulated, it doesn't feel safe. It's about finding safety for you to land, for you to feel like you feel contained. It's containment. It's a feeling of safety. So that's about you creating a safe environment for yourself as well. The next step is about calming your nervous system or your adrenal system. And that's about also music, going for walks, getting out into nature, being around people that you trust, that you feel safe. Laughter also really helps. What else? Journaling. These are all about releasing. This is all about bringing that energy back to you. Okay, and thinking about you. What makes you happy? What makes it good for you? Okay. Your favorite song. What is your favorite song? What do you like listening to? Things like that. All right. And that's what I'm saying. It's just about releasing it. Okay. So that's important. Create that safe space for you. All right. In whichever capacity that is, that will really, really help you guys. Eric says, the girls at the coffee shop called me Batman. Maybe because you are, Eric. Maybe you are Batman. Eric says, Anushka, you are with all of us in all parts of the world. You're very much, oh, bless you, a beacon of light and hope. I've been in the throes of violence, and I swear I didn't even want to let you down. Anushka knows best. No, I don't. No, I don't always know best. Oh. Gary says, Anushka, you make me feel safe, as well as many others here. Thank you for your service. Thank you. I'm so glad. That means a lot. That's really touching. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm so glad. Black Sabbath. Oh, goodness, Bruno, that's a bit harsh for me. I don't think I could listen to Black Sabbath. Oh, wow. But if it works for you, absolutely. It's a release. Petra says, it doesn't matter the words. Read the Bible. It's generated by a person. It's a good advice if you want to learn about the ways of the devil. It's about educating yourself, whatever works. Absolutely. Kevin says, own your own anger, then let it go hard, but it's a cathartic release. Yeah. Anger, all right, anger, I know whilst it's a really difficult emotion to sit with because it really gets to you, but it's about working through it. Do you know what I mean? It's about going through it, working through it. Because remember, it's an emotion. Our body is trying to communicate with us through our emotions. Okay, so it's not about just forgetting about it or discarding it or detaching from it. No, it's an emotion. It's yours. It's your body trying to tell you that something's wrong. So we have to listen to it. What is it trying to tell us? What is going on? You know, that's what is important. Okay, that's what's important. So you're absolutely right. Releasing it after. You know what? I remember when I worked in the addictions clinic, there was a lot of my clients there had a lot of unreleased or repented anger. And I said to them, do you know what the best thing to do is? And I'm not saying you guys should do this, but one of the therapeutic modalities was, right, I said, right, what we have to do is we are going to go out into either the fields or the forest, and we need to get a big stick, like a big hardy stick. And we're going to go into the fields or into the forest. And what we're going to do is I want you to bang this stick either on the ground or on that tree, okay? And I want you to shout at the top of your lungs, I need you to release it. And you know, it really works. It's that release of trauma, that release of anger, that trapped, pent-up emotion. I'm not saying that you guys should do this, but it was just one thing that I had found that had been really helpful for release. You know, you're very welcome, Paddy. You're very, very welcome. Bob says, do you ever get triggered from your past experiences? You know, I've worked a lot on them. And sometimes, do you know one thing I will say, guys? Our triggers are our triggers. And being able to work through them really depends on how aware you are of what your triggers are. There's still going to be triggers that come up that you weren't aware of, or maybe you thought you had worked through them, but they're going to come up for each and every one of us. And yes, I have been triggered. Yes, I'm not going to say that I haven't, but I've worked a lot on them to be able to contain it. But there's obviously like triggers and things that each and every one of us have that, you know, sometimes we're not going to be able to move past them. Yes, I get upset. Yes, I'm a human being. I'm not saying I know it all and I'm some saint or an angel that has like worked through them all. I haven't. None of us ever will. It's just about us being aware of them and being able to manage them. Look, I have anxiety as well, and sometimes I can't sleep. Sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I feel anxiety. I end up watching YouTube or like sleep stories, or I kind of watch a film or something like that, something to just, you know, like keep my mind off it. But it's about being able to manage it, okay? It's about being able to manage it. So that's ultimately what it is. It's about working through it and being able to manage it. McLeod76 says, I miss my drum kit. Yes, this is another one. Yes. Margot says rage rooms need to... Yes, there should... I really do believe in that type of release in therapy because I've seen it work. Like, I've seen it, you know? I've seen it happening. And it just heals. It works. Sometimes I could do with that, you know? Sometimes I could just get a stick. But yeah, you know, like this is, it's important to release. No, not Dennis. No, not a good idea to release the stress on your partner or get the stick and whack them. No, that hasn't, or wouldn't be very helpful. No, don't do that. No. Oh, I love that, Eric. Anushka, thank you. Hasn't given up on growing with her. It's a lifestyle. Yes, it's a life. It's true. It is a lifestyle. It's a mindset. It's a lifestyle. But you grow, don't you? Each and every one of us grow. We know more about ourselves than we did before. You're welcome, Bob. You're welcome. Kat Shep says, Anushka, how do I support my husband who is currently experiencing the silent treatment from his narc father? He is immune to this behavior due to being treated so badly by him for 35 years. Oh, gosh. Kat, thank you so much for your question. Okay, so within that, I believe that possibly it could be very triggering for your husband, for him to be going through this. There's going to be a lot of self-blame and a lot of reflection on this. There might be guilt or shame that's associated with this, but ultimately it's for him not to blame himself and know that his behavior is not a reflection of how his father is choosing to react or behave. The father should know better for sure, but they don't because they are emotionally immature. I feel like the best way to support is to be there to listen, which I probably think that you already do. But also what might help in this scenario might be, excuse me, is distraction. If it is too much for your husband to kind of work through, or maybe it's too triggering, distraction will really help. And it's about creating happy experience or positive experiences so that your husband is not constantly thinking about this one thing. But ultimately, it's not the father's behavior is not a reflection on your husband. It is something that the father chooses to do in order to control and get your husband to conform. It could be that he's also giving out the silent treatment because maybe your husband has reacted or done something different, like put boundaries in place and hasn't behaved in the same way that that maybe he has done previously. So it's also like it's a conditioning of behavior, so that he's trying to get your husband to conform, and ultimately it's a punishment, isn't it? He's punishing him for something. So once you understand what that punishment is, or what your husband has done that didn't sit well with the father, then you kind of can work through there. So I hope that helps, but ultimately it's just reassurance and validation for your husband. So I hope that helps. Guys, I really have enjoyed talking with you, all of you. It's been really nice. Oh, excuse me, hold on. It's been really nice being here and spending this time with each and every one of you. The questions have been really, really amazing. Kevin, thank you for making us all laugh. This is from my AI self saying this. I'm joking. It's been really lovely to spend this time with you. I do understand that I know that all of you live a busy life. You've all got your own things. So I'm really grateful for your time and for you guys being here. If you have enjoyed being on the live, please know that our Discord server is exactly like this, so you can talk with other like-minded individuals. Yang is on there. It's his platform, it's his thing, but it's a very supportive community. It's a very supportive space. So if you would like to join, Yang will be there to say hi and to kind of greet you. So come on over to the Discord server. There's obviously like other things that are happening over there. Like there's kind of like chats, talks. Yang also offers coaching services as well. So if you're interested, Yang also is there to offer support and connection with you. I am back tomorrow with another video. I've got some exciting videos coming up this week. I have obviously forgotten the title, but it is tomorrow at 8 p.m. usual time. And me and Yang will obviously be back next Tuesday for the live. What else? Yes, I don't know what topic we will be talking about. Thank you, Divine One. I really hope that what we have talked about today has really, really helped. And do you know what, guys? Keep growing, keep going forward. Don't look back. Just know that you guys are amazing. And Jessica, you are going to get through this. Kevin, John, Paddy, SLJ, you are all so welcome. And it's good night from me and Yang. And guys, I will see you all next week. Have a good week, guys. Have a really, really good week. Bye-bye.